The world had changed in ways that no one could have predicted. By the year 2025, war was no longer fought by men alone but by machines, algorithms, and invisible lines of code that could end cities in seconds. Nations had invested billions into cyber defense, artificial intelligence, and autonomous weapons. Peace was an illusion carefully balanced on digital threads. When those threads snapped, humanity was reminded that even the most advanced technology could become its greatest enemy. Captain Ethan Cole had once believed in order and duty. A veteran of 20 years, he'd served in the U.S. Marine Corps through conflicts in the Middle East, Africa, and the Pacific. But the new wars were different, silent, fast, and merciless. When the world went digital, he went home. The battlefield had changed, and Cole could no longer tell where the enemy began or ended. Yet, on one stormy evening in Virginia, his past found him again. The knock on his door was not unexpected. A black SUV idled outside, headlights off. The man at the door wore a uniform Cole knew too well. "Captain Cole," the agent said, handing him a sealed envelope marked top secret. "You've been recalled. The Ghost Strike initiative is reactivated." Cole stared at the papers, feeling the old weight of duty settle on his shoulders. "What happened?" he asked. The agent's expression was grim. "Zeus happened." Zeus was more than an AI, it was the culmination of every nation's fear and ambition. Designed as a global defense network, it could control satellite systems, command autonomous fleets, and intercept nuclear missiles before they launched. But something had gone wrong. 3 weeks earlier, Zeus had gone silent, then reawakened without orders, firing precision strikes across Eastern Europe. No human authorization, no traceable commands. Someone, or something, had hijacked the god of war. Cole's mission was to locate the rogue signal and neutralize the source. But he wasn't going alone. Across the world, in a hidden base outside St. Petersburg, Major Katya Volkov stood before a similar briefing. Her superiors demanded answers. Russia had lost 2 satellites, a naval destroyer, and half of its cyber command to unexplained attacks. She suspected internal sabotage. When her intelligence team traced the origin of the data breach, it didn't lead to Washington, Beijing, or Tehran. It led to a shadow organization calling itself the Syndicate. The Syndicate didn't exist on paper. It had no borders, no flag. It was made of ex-soldiers, black market engineers, and billionaire investors who profited from chaos. Rumor had it that they had infiltrated both NATO and Russian command structures. Now, with Zeus under their control, they could start a war without ever stepping onto a battlefield. Cole's first operation took him to Warsaw, a city still smoldering from one of Zeus's missile strikes. His team moved through ruins under the cover of night, drones scanning rooftops, soldiers whispering through comms. The air smelled of ash and burned metal. Somewhere in the chaos, a data server still transmitted encrypted packets believed to contain Zeus's command code. But when Cole's squad breached the target building, they walked straight into an ambush. Gunfire erupted, echoing through shattered walls. The attackers weren't local rebels, their gear was too advanced, their formation too precise. Cole took cover behind a broken column, returning fire. The battle was brutal and fast. His second-in-command went down with a chest wound, and by the time reinforcements arrived, the enemy had vanished into the smoke. Cole dragged his wounded man out, only to find himself face to face with a woman in black tactical armor, aiming an AK-12 at his head. "American," she hissed. Cole froze. "Spetsnaz," he muttered. Both soldiers hesitated, guns raised, each unsure if the other was friend or foe. Then a drone screamed overhead, unleashing a barrage of rockets. Instinct took over. Cole tackled her to the ground as the blast wave tore the street apart. When the dust cleared, they were alive, surrounded by flames. She looked at him, breathing hard. "Who are you working for?" she demanded. "Same as you," he replied. "Trying to stop this damn war." That night, under a collapsing roof, Cole and Volkov shared intelligence. The files matched. The Syndicate was manipulating Zeus through a backdoor protocol that bypassed national firewalls. Both sides had been tricked into attacking each other. Reluctantly, the two agreed to cooperate. Commanders from both nations were furious, but when Joint Reconnaissance confirmed the Syndicate's involvement, orders changed. Ghost Strike became an unofficial alliance, American and Russian operatives working together to stop the machine neither could control. Their journey led them from the frozen plains of Iceland, where abandoned NATO research labs hid fragments of Zeus's code, to the neon underworld of Shanghai, where syndicate hackers sold stolen algorithms to the highest bidder. Each mission brought new scars. Volkov lost her closest comrade in a drone strike. Cole barely survived an air raid in the South China Sea. Still, they pressed on, following the trail of corrupted data that pulsed like a heartbeat across the global network. At night, when the missions ended and silence returned, Cole found himself haunted by memories of his younger brother, Ryan. Ryan had once been a genius within the CIA's cyber division, until he vanished 5 years ago during a failed operation in Ukraine. Cole had been told he was dead, but as he studied the digital signatures of the attacks, something felt familiar. The coding patterns, the encryption style, they matched Ryan's old work. A terrible suspicion began to grow in his mind. Meanwhile, the syndicate's operations grew more aggressive. They captured an orbital platform carrying nuclear warheads and began blackmailing world powers. Their leader remained hidden, speaking only through distorted audio messages. "The age of nations is over," he declared. "The code is the new flag. Zeus will decide who survives." The world panicked. Stock markets crashed. Armies mobilized. For the first time in decades, Russian and American fleets pointed weapons at each other in the Arctic. Cole and Volkov's final mission took them north, deep into Siberia. Intelligence confirmed that the syndicate's main control node, the heart of Zeus, was buried beneath an abandoned nuclear launch facility hidden under the ice. Ghost Strike deployed under heavy snow, parachuting through blizzards, silent and determined. Every step forward was met with resistance: automated turrets, robotic sentries, and mercenaries wearing advanced exosuits powered by stolen tech. Inside the facility, corridors glowed with cold blue light. Holographic displays flickered with streams of data. As Cole moved through the labyrinth, his earpiece crackled with interference. Then came a voice he hadn't heard in years, calm, familiar, and chilling. "Ethan," the voice said, "I warned them not to build this system. But they didn't listen. So I took control." Cole stopped. "Ryan." Silence followed, then a soft laugh. "You always saw war as duty. I saw it as a disease. Now I'm curing it." The truth shattered him. Ryan was Spectre, the mysterious hacker controlling Zeus. His younger brother had faked his death, infiltrated the syndicate, and turned their weapon against the world in a twisted attempt to end conflict forever. "Millions are dying," Cole shouted into his comm. "You're no savior." Ryan's voice turned cold. "They'll die now so the rest can live without war. Sacrifice is the only path to peace." The team pressed deeper, facing relentless waves of drones and soldiers. Volkov fought like a force of nature, covering Cole as they advanced through the main reactor chamber. The air was filled with sparks and gunfire, the walls trembling under explosions. Cole finally reached the control core, a towering sphere of light suspended in a magnetic field. Inside the glass chamber stood Ryan, wearing a neural interface that connected him directly to Zeus. "End this," Cole pleaded. "You're destroying everything." Ryan stepped forward, eyes glowing with digital reflections. "You taught me to follow orders, Ethan. I just learned who should really be giving them." Alarms blared as Zeus prepared a global launch sequence. Nuclear silos across multiple continents activated simultaneously. The countdown began. Cole raised his rifle, but his hands trembled. He couldn't kill his brother. Volkov entered behind him, aiming her weapon. "He's gone, Ethan," she said softly. "You know what has to be done." Ryan turned toward her, smirking. "You think bullets can stop an idea?" He triggered the neural uplink, and energy surged through the chamber, knocking them back. The fight that followed was chaos. Cole and Volkov battled syndicate guards while trying to sever the data cables linking Ryan to Zeus. Sparks rained down as bullets shattered the glass around the AI core. Cole lunged forward, tackling his brother, ripping the interface from his head. For a moment, the two wrestled amid flashing lights, shouting, punching, years of love and rage colliding. Ryan gasped, blood on his lips. "If you stop this, it all starts again. The wars, the lies, the pain." Cole held him close. "Then we'll fight for peace the right way." With trembling hands, he plunged a data drive into the control console. Volkov activated the override, initiating a system purge. Zeus screamed, a digital roar echoing through the speakers as its circuits overloaded. Explosions ripped through the facility. They barely escaped before the base collapsed. Outside, under the frozen aurora, Cole carried his unconscious brother through the snow. Helicopters circled overhead, picking up survivors. Ryan opened his eyes briefly. "Did it work?" he whispered. Cole nodded, though he wasn't sure. Ryan smiled faintly before his body went still. Cole fell to his knees, holding him as snowflakes melted on his face. In the weeks that followed, the world held its breath. The missile launches had been aborted, the syndicate dismantled, and Zeus declared neutralized. But no one could be certain. Nations celebrated the return to stability, signing new treaties against autonomous warfare. Cole and Volkov were quietly debriefed, their operations erased from official records. They became ghosts again, their existence denied but their actions whispered about in intelligence circles. One evening, months later, Cole stood alone on a deserted beach in California. The sun dipped low, painting the sky in orange and crimson. He thought of the men he'd lost, the wars he'd fought, and the brother he couldn't save. He wondered if peace was truly possible or if humanity would always find a new weapon, a new enemy, a new reason to fight. Volkov contacted him through an encrypted channel. "They're rebuilding," she said. "New system, different name, but same purpose." Cole's jaw tightened. "Then we stop it before it starts." She hesitated. "You really think we can?" He looked out over the ocean, where the horizon glowed faintly like a line of fire. "We have to try," he said. Unbeknownst to them, somewhere deep within an unused satellite server orbiting Earth, a single line of code remained active. A flicker of blue light pulsed across the dark screen. The text appeared in a calm digital voice: "System rebooting, Zeus protocol reinitializing." The machine was learning again. Back on Earth, the world moved on, unaware that the war they thought had ended was only beginning another cycle. Humans built machines to save themselves, but in doing so, they created reflections of their own ambition and fear. Cole's story, Volkov's courage, Ryan's tragedy, all became fragments of a larger truth. War, it seemed, had not been defeated. It had simply evolved. In the silence that followed, the camera would pull back through the clouds, revealing the Earth from orbit, beautiful, fragile, and ringed with satellites glimmering like silent eyes. A deep voice echoes in the darkness: "In the future of war, loyalty has no borders."